It's been a while, hasn't it? What's up, everybody? My name is Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're just going to be doing another simple manga haul. Show you all the stuff I got for the month. I got a pretty decent amount of size stuff because I've been waiting for Right Stuff to send me stuff, and they finally did their job, so I'm happy about that. We'll section this stuff off into like my miscellaneous stuff, then I will do my Kodansha, then I will do my Viz Media, and then I kind of have my like specialty extra like good stuff that I always like to put at the end that are more like the niche and out there and like premium quality kind of items. And then I will also be covering a little bit of what I've been reading this week because I probably won't cover it for a video, so I might as well do it in one of these. But without further ado, let's get into the video and start off with a series called Roll Over and Die. Now, this is actually based on the light novel, and I have been very interested into this ever since it's been announced at Anime Expo. This is the first Yuri title that I've ever actually been interested enough to go pick up and purchase, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. Basically, this girl right here has like this really dark, like, she ends up becoming like a slave, and she saves her, or something like that, and I haven't really gotten to the story a whole lot. It's been a while since I've read the synopsis. All I know is I pre-ordered it day one, once I heard about it after, I think me and Zach covered it on the podcast arc, and so I've been really interested in that. I'm going to read that, and I'll let you guys know what I think about that. But anyway, next up, we have the Fox and the Tanuki, Volume 3. That's upside down, my bad. But this is basically, the best way I can describe this is it is like the Disney animated movie of manga. It is so Disney-esque, and it's perfect for like a Disney story, like something like Bambi or the Fox and the Tramp. And it basically follows this guy right here. His name's Senzo, and not the Tanuki, the one below it, the Black Fox. And basically, he got sentenced to capture for like 500 years, and so he finally gets let out, and his job is to raise that little Tanuki right there into becoming a good old like god for the actual like guardian who imprisoned him. And I really enjoy the story. I really like the characters. It's like the one thing from Tokyo Pop I actually pick up, and I really love it. It's very unique, and obviously this being made by a Disney company, it makes sense that is actually a a Disney-esque kind of thing. But it's very good, very solid. I really love it. Next up, we have, last up actually for the miscellaneous stuff, we have what this is, Machimaho. I messed up and made the wrong girl a magical girl. I love this series. It's one of the funniest, most epic action fighting series I've ever seen. It's so good, so unique. I love this character. She's so good. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun of a series. And if you like your over-the-top action, you like your huge battles, you like your abrasive, like, asshole characters, because that's all she is, but she's really lovable, and she has a little soft side to her. It's a really nice dynamic, and she's a really interesting character. And you even got your ecchi moments in there if you like your ecchi stuff. It's really good, very solid, and I love it so very much. It's really good, and I recommend it. This is Volume 7, I believe. Volume 7, and that is up to date with what is currently released. Next up, we're going to be going on to our Kodansha stuff, and what we have first is Gleipnir. You guys missed this series. I used to talk about this all the time. This is Volume 7 and 8. So I've been waiting for these for a while. Again, they were on pre-order, and I was just waiting in the order for enough stuff to be available to get it. I'm so excited to get back into this. They were coming out a lot more recently, or back when they first started, they came out a lot more. Like, I think it was like every other month to like catch up with the manga. So basically, they're catching up with the manga right now. So that is why they have gotten more scattered, if you guys have been picking this up and wondering why they're more stretched out for what they are. But I love Gleipnir. It is another great action fighting series. It's a great seinen. It's dark and gritty, and I love the characters, and I can't wait to continue reading the series because I love it. I don't care what Base says. I will always love it, and he can't change my mind. Next up, we have a vertical title, which is now Kodansha anyway, and was already owned by Kodansha because they merged, and now they're Kodansha books. It's weird because they were already merged, but I wonder why they really put it together, what the business decision behind that was for. And maybe they just wanted to start Kodansha books, but was making vertical, that company, turn into that. I don't really know all the stuff behind it. But next up, we have Apotsumis, one of my favorite sci-fi series by Tsutomu Nihai. Yeah, I said that. Tsutomu. Yeah, okay. I always think I say his name wrong. But anyway, I love this series. It's another great action sci-fi series. It is one of the best sci-fis I've read. This is what got me into Tsutomu Nihai's stuff. This series, it made me read Knights of Sidonia, which I have over there, and I need to get the last series or the last volume for it, of like the master editions that they have, so I can start doing it. And I need to pick that up soon because they'll probably be out of print because Vertical is now closed down. But next up, we have volumes 3 and 4 of Blood on the Tracks, because I want to learn what it takes to be a good mother. And I really think that this mother right here is the icon that everybody needs to follow for being a mother. She is perfect at what she does. She does a great job. It is by Shuzo Oshimi, one of the best mangakas of all time, in my just a subjective opinion. But I really love his stories. I love Inside Mari. I love Flowers of Evil. I love, Happiness, and like a lot of his stuff. Like everything I've read from him, I've enjoyed, and this is no exception. It is so very good. It is such a great like action, like crazy stuff going on with like this, not really mystery, but like this. The mom is very like just out there and wacky and kind of mysterious in a way. But next up, we have a rom-com series and one of my favorite rom-coms, and that is Boarding School Juliet. I believe there's 16 volumes of this. Maybe there's 20. I could be wrong. But Boarding School Juliet, I love this series. I really love it. It's one of the first ever rom-coms I read. Romeo and Juliet here on the back basically are in a school where the black cats and black dogs and white cats. I knew I said that wrong. Basically, they're two separate sides of a same country who signed a peace treaty, but they don't really like each other. So at the time, like after like a lot of animosity and stuff is held towards each side, and these two fall in love with each other, and they're like trying to hide it and not get caught. But something happened in the last volume, and I'm not gonna say because of spoilers, but woo, it gets spicy. But last up for it, we have the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, with this newest series, Eden Zero. Now, what I always say about Hiramashima series is that they are not they're not the Goodnight Poon Poons, they're not the Berserks of the world, but they certainly are fun for me. I love reading them. I love having like a little Fast and Furious action. You know, characters may look the same. I still have a good time with it. I don't care about the power or friendship like getting thrown in there and just stuff happening. It's a fun series. It's a nice series to read and like have some big punchy action fights and not get like too seriously involved in all that, and just have like, you know, sit back and have some fun. And I love Eden Zero. It does that. It's a fun series, and I really love how it does that. Next up, we're going to be getting into our Shonen Jump and Viz Media stuff. So first up, we have volumes, is this 16? No, 17 and 18. I already have 16. 17 and 18 of The Promised Neverland. I believe already volume 20 is out, so I think that is the last volume of The Promised Neverland. This series has finished up. I don't know the ending yet. Please don't spoil it. I want to read it. I love this series. I heard the ending was a little lackluster, but I don't care. I still really think this is really good. What's his name? Dimizu. I'm probably going to say that wrong. I love his art. He's one of the best artists I've ever seen. I have his art books and stuff. I love the way that this series is drawn. And then I never remember the writer. Kaiju Shirai, I believe he did I Shield 21, and he's a great writer. The reason the story is so good. They work so well together, and I really hope they continue making series together. So next up we have, oh wow, a lot more than I thought of this one series. So I'm going to do, where's the other one? I know I have more of you. Here you are. So I have volumes 7. Do I not have volume 8? Oh, there's volume. What the heck? Do I not have volume 8? No, I did it again. I always do it where I have like, I get a bunch of volumes at once, and then I miss one volume, so I'm screwed. So I'm missing volume 8, but here's 9, 7, and 10 of Beastars. I was planning on catching up on it, but I can only read volume 7 now until I get volume 8, which I'm going to order on Amazon after this video. I love Beastars. Really interesting. It has a lot of drama and a lot of like social aspect elements that are involved in this series. It's really good, and I really love it. It's been a while since I've read it, but I'm glad I can finally get back into it. And next up, we have volumes 19 through 20 right here. And I actually, ironically enough, I also missed volume 18, I believe, on this series. Or no, it was 19. Volume 19, I didn't actually order that with the haul either, so I had to go back on Amazon and buy it because I love this series. I am not waiting to read this. I'm gonna be reading this as soon as this video probably ends because it is one of the best seinens of all time. It is so good. Sugimoto and Shirpa are so good. I love it so much. This series is so unique and so fun. I love everything about it. It's so unique. The art is great. The story is entertaining. And the characters are absolutely amazing. And then last up, for my Viz signatures, we have Children on the Rails. This is a very good fantasy sci-fi series. It's also one of the first animes I ever watched. I watched the Netflix series of it, and it is very good. It's a very solid series. It stays strong. It gets very philosophical, sometimes to the point of confusion. I'm not going to lie. But overall, it's a very solid series, and I really enjoy it, and I love it. And I believe, I don't know if there's another one out after that, but I need to read that one anyway before I get to the next one, so it doesn't really matter. So, next up, we're going to get into our premium stuff. This is like all the, they could be from Viz Media, Yen Press, or anything like that. Just any of the publishers, just, it has more like a hardcover or special edition, so it's that kind of stuff. But next up, we have Tokyo Fashion. There's a lot of girls' fashion in here, not a lot of guys. It's still interesting, but I'm very disappointed because I thought it was going to be at least half and half. But there's literally like 10 pages in here for guys, so it made me very sad because I was really interested to learn about Japanese fashion, and I was very disappointed to find out that I couldn't learn that too much about the men's section. And it's basically just like wear clothes that fit and don't wear stripes. That was pretty much the men's section. But anyway, we have Dead Demons, DDD's Destruction, Volume 9, I believe. I believe this is all a backstory arc, because when I flipped through the pages, all the pages are black, so I don't know what's going on in this, but I can tell you right now, Inio Asano knows what he's doing, and if you like Inio Asano, you like your apocalyptic stuff, you like your really interesting social construct kind of mangas, this is your thing. It's so good, so unique, and it's so lovable. Love this series. So good. Trust me. You guys need to check that out if you haven't. Next up, we have a webtoon, Solo Leveling. I finally got it in. I wanted to do a review day one when it got out. Sadly, I couldn't do that. This is in full color. It feels hefty, and it actually feels very nice, to be honest. It feels really good to hold in my hands. It is more of an expensive price, obviously, but all of these are because they're special, and it's all in full color. They stay true to the webtoon. They don't make it all go gray. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to very soon, and I'll give you guys my opinion once I do that. Next up, we have Soul Eater Volume 2. I finished this one. I love Soul Eater. My girlfriend actually kind of recommended it to me. Funny enough, it was weird, but it's really cool. I love it. It is very solid. I'm glad I'm getting the what are these called? The perfect editions of them. They're good. If you haven't read Soul Eater, definitely collect these instead of the other ones. I don't even know. I think they're out of print, the old ones, or they are going out of print. I'm not sure, but I can tell you right now, those are very solid and very good. And last up, we have Berserk Volume 7. And now, I've done it twice so far. Can you guess what I did? That's right. I don't have Volume 6 yet. So now I have to wait. It pisses me off, but what can I do? I have to live with my own mistakes, and that's what it is. I love Berserk. Oh my god, what is it? The Eclipse arc? It's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. I can't wait to read more. And I'm so pissed that I don't have Volume 6. And because I wait till these series go on sale, because I'm not paying $45 for one of these things. So I wait till they go around like $35 or like $10 off or something like that. Then I can justify purchasing one. So when Volume 6 gets down to that price, I'll be able to read more of it. And I can tell you right now, if you like sci-fi like fantasy, sci-fi stuff, not sci-fi, fantasy, medieval stuff, read it. It's dark, it's grim, it's amazing. I don't know how you haven't read it if you've like been into manga before. But anyway, this is a series I just started reading recently, and I was trying to put them in order. But basically, this is Slam Dunk by Takeo Inoi. I always say his last name wrong. I can never know how to say it. But anyway, this is very good. I love basketball. I played basketball before. Once I really get into the series, I think I'll make a video on it. But it's very good. I love it. It really makes basketball feel real. You know, it has that very, like, I don't think it's really too outlandish, and most basketball series really seem outlandish to me, just because they do stuff that doesn't really feel realistic when knowing how to play, like, knowing to play, and watching some of these characters do things that I'm like, they're not doing that in real life. But this series so far has stayed stayed realistic enough to where it's entertaining and doesn't feel fake, and it feels genuine, and I really can tell how much the writer and mangaka Takehiko. I knew how to say it, but I second guessed myself. I know how much he loves basketball. And you can really feel it in this series. This art's amazing. I can't wait to read more. And last up, we have Beauty and the Feast. Yeah, this is the series I picked in 2020. My favorite series because it was very much like Sweetness and Lightning and Barakamon. At least I thought it would be more like Sweetness and Lightning than Barakamon. But yeah, it's not. The Sweetness and Lightning's better, like by like miles. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, but it's just like, I don't know. I think I got my hopes too high. I think it's a solid series. I think it's entertaining enough, and I think I need to see more development before I give it a true judgment between how it is. But I can't lie and say I'm disappointed to what I thought it was and to what it actually is. And that's my own fault because I held expectations for it to be more Sweetness and Lightning, but it's really not. It's not bad, and it's good. And if you like your food, slice of life stuff, you will still enjoy it. I still enjoy it. it's just not what I expected it to be. I felt like there would be a lot more heartwarming elements, or if they happen, they would be a lot more heart-wrenching and like touching. But I think it's different in the way they fleshed out the characters in Sweetness and Lightning and how they fleshed it out in this. And also knowing that, like, another family member is dead and then someone shows up, it's like, yeah, it is like Sweetness and Lightning, but I like Sweetness and Lightning. And it felt like I was trying to get another Sweetness and Lightning, but it wasn't as magical as that because it can't be as magical as that. And that's my own fault, and it's still good. I still recommend it. It's still good. The art's good. It's entertaining, and it's a very solid slice of life. For the first one, I'd give it like a 4-star. Objectively. Subjectively, I give it like 3 because I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, I was let down. It is not any Sweetness and Lightning. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate you guys checking these out. Please like, comment, subscribe if you feel I deserve it. And as always, I'll see you in another video. And don't forget, Dubs not subs.